Let me guess, you're replaying that conversation from yesterday for the 10th time. You're stressing about a meeting next week that hasn't even happened yet. Your mind is a runaway train of what-ifs and worries, and frankly, you're exhausted. It feels like you're trapped in a mental hamster wheel, running in circles with no off-ramp. But what if the escape plan was drawn up 2,000 years ago? What if the secret to silencing that noise was perfected by emperors, playwrights, and philosophers who stared down plagues, exile, and war? The ancient Stoics were masters of mental resilience. So today, we're not just talking philosophy. We're giving you 5 simple, practical exercises you can use times right now, times to stop overthinking and get your peace of mind back. First up is the bedrock of all Stoicism. It's a simple mental filter that, once you start using it, can wipe out a huge chunk of your anxiety. It's called the dichotomy of control. The philosopher Epictetus, who went from being enslaved to being one of the most respected teachers in the Roman Empire, put it perfectly. He said some things are up to us and some things aren't. What's up to us? Our opinions, our motivations, our desires, basically our own actions. What's times not times up to us? Well, pretty much everything else. Our bodies, what other people think, our reputation, and the world outside our own choices. Overthinking is what happens when we try to mentally wrestle with things we simply can't control. We worry about what someone else thinks of us. We stress about traffic. We beat ourselves up over a past mistake we can't undo. All of that is completely wasted energy. So, here's the exercise. The next time you feel your mind starting to spin, just pause. Take one deep breath and ask yourself this brutally honest question. Is this thing I'm worrying about times actually times within my control? If the answer is yes, if it's about your own actions or choices, then stop worrying and start planning. Action is the ultimate antidote to anxiety when the ball is in your court. But if the answer is no, if it's about the weather, another person's mood, or the final outcome after you've done your part, then your job is to practice letting it go. Acknowledge the thought and then consciously tell yourself, this is not my problem. As Epictetus advised, if it's not yours to control, be ready to say it is nothing to you. This isn't being passive, it's being smart. It's saving your energy for the one battle you can actually win, the one inside your own head. Here's a newsflash. Your thoughts are not commands. They are merely suggestions. Overthinking is what happens when we grab every suggestion our mind offers and treat it like a 5-alarm fire. The Stoics knew that you are not your thoughts. You are the times watcher times of your thoughts. The great Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength comes from creating a little bit of space between you and the chatter in your head. So, here's a powerful visualization exercise. The next time a worried thought pops into your head, don't fight it. Don't try to push it away. Instead, just notice it. Imagine you're sitting by a calm, flowing river. Now, imagine placing that thought on a leaf and just watch it float by and disappear downstream. Another thought comes along. Pop it on another leaf. Let it drift away. Another great visual is to see your thoughts as clouds passing through the big, blue sky of your awareness. Some are dark and stormy, others are light and fluffy. You aren't the clouds, you're the sky. Your job isn't to change the weather, but to let the clouds pass without getting swept up in them. Practicing this creates a new reflex. It teaches you that thoughts are just temporary events. They only have power if you grab onto them. By watching without engaging, you loosen overthinking's grip and find peace, not by forcing silence, but by realizing you were never the noise to begin with. One of the best ways to stop getting tangled in your thoughts is to figure out your own patterns. We get stuck in mental loops because we're not even aware of what triggers them. The Stoics had a brilliant practical fix for this: a daily evening review. The philosopher Seneca wrote about his own nightly routine. He said that after the house was quiet, he would examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by. This wasn't about beating himself up. It was an honest, objective look back, aimed at learning and doing a little better tomorrow. Here's the exercise for you. Before you go to sleep tonight, take 5 or 10 minutes, find a quiet spot, no screens, and ask yourself 3 simple questions about your day. What did I do well? Where did I act with patience or courage? Where did I stay true to my values? Where could I improve? Did I get angry about something I couldn't control? Did I speak unkindly? Did I let a useless thought run away with me? Were my anxieties today based in reality or just my imagination? Which worries were actually productive and which were a total waste of time? This practice is a game changer for 2 reasons. First, it puts a container around your worrying. Instead of letting anxieties spill all over your evening, you give them a specific time slot and then you're done. Second, it starts to reveal your mental triggers. You'll begin to notice how often you're overthinking things that either don't matter or never even happen. Over time, this daily habit makes your mind a clearer, more rational, and more peaceful place to live. This next strategy is going to sound completely backward. To stop overthinking bad things, you should. There's a huge difference between anxious, spiraling worry and calm, rational preparation. The Stoics called it times premeditatio malorum asterisk, or the premeditation of troubles. Seneca pointed out that things that are unexpected hit us much harder. He argued that we should project our thoughts ahead of us at every turn and have in mind every possible eventuality instead of only the usual course of events. The point isn't to make yourself miserable. It's to strip future problems of their power to shock and destabilize you. Here's the exercise. Think of something coming up that you're tempted to overthink. A job interview, a tough conversation, a presentation. Now, instead of just vaguely worrying, walk through the worst-case scenario. What if you totally bomb the interview? What if the presentation is a technical disaster? Imagine it. Feel it for a second. And this is the important part. Don't stop there. Now, ask yourself, asterisk, and then what? Asterisk. If you bomb the interview, you'll be disappointed. But then you'll start looking for the next one. Your life won't be over. If the conversation goes badly, feelings might be hurt, but you will handle it and figure out the next step. You will survive. When you calmly look at the worst, you realize 2 things. First, the worst-case scenario is usually not the life-ending catastrophe your anxious mind paints it as. And second, you realize you actually have the strength and resources to handle it. This mental rehearsal steals fear's favorite weapon, the unknown. You turn that big, scary anxiety into a concrete problem you can plan for, and you prove to yourself that you are way more resilient than your overthinking gives you credit for. Overthinking loves the abstract. It lives in the past and the future, 2 places where you have 0 power. So, the most direct way to shut down that cycle of rumination is to pull yourself firmly into the only place you times do. Times have power, the present moment, through physical action. Marcus Aurelius constantly wrote notes to himself to focus on the task at hand. He said, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." This wasn't about being gloomy. It was about pouring all your attention into what's right in front of you instead of getting lost in your head. So here is the final and simplest exercise. The next time you're stuck in an overthinking loop, get up and times do something asterisk anything. The key is to pick a physical task that needs your focus. Don't just flip on the TV, which lets your mind keep worrying in the background. Choose a real task. Wash the dishes, but actually focus on the feeling of the warm water and the suds. Go for a walk and pay attention to the rhythm of your feet on the ground and the air in your lungs. Organize one messy drawer. This isn't just a distraction. It's a re-engagement with reality. You're shifting your energy from the chaotic world of what if to the solid ground of what is. Overthinking and focused present moment action cannot exist at the same time. By taking one small, deliberate action, you're telling your brain, nope, I'm in charge here, and I choose this, right now, over that. These 5 strategies, knowing what you can control, watching your thoughts, reviewing your day, rehearsing for trouble, and taking action aren't magic tricks. They are mental training. They are the tools the Stoics used to build fortresses in their minds, which allowed them to find clarity and purpose even when the world was in chaos. You're not broken for overthinking. Your mind is just trying to solve problems, but it's running on glitchy software, trying to solve things that aren't real or aren't yours to fix. These 5 exercises are the system update you've been looking for. Just start with one. Practice it today. The goal is not to never have another worried thought. The goal is to know what to do when your thoughts aren't serving you and to have the tools to take back control of your mind. And now for a little evening review of our own. Let me know in the comments, what is one thing you've been overthinking lately? Sharing it is often the first step to letting it go. Thanks for watching. At the Stoic Room, we share weekly videos to help you build emotional resilience, mental discipline, and inner calm guided by timeless Stoic wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. If this brought you clarity, subscribe and keep training your mind, not the moment.